I would leave work, and I had 4 children. I would leave work because I gave my children explicit instructions, and I didn't have to follow my kids because, as I say, I meant what I said, and I said what I meant. I was tough then. I don't do nothing to my grandkids. That's the mama's job. I did enough. I need rest now. So I don't do nothing to my grandkids. That's the mama's job. But I would leave work, not go home. I didn't go home. I went to church. I stayed in church till 11 o'clock at night. Then I would come home, get up next morning, go to work, leave work, go to the church, stay till 11 o'clock every night, the 21 days. You got to be dedicated. Because I wanted something from God. We ain't dedicated. We're not, listen, it's going to take that. It's going to take that. Our flesh is lazy. The flesh don't want to do that. If Elder mentioned a shut in, oh, is we really going to have this shut in? And then sometime when we would have shut in, we stayed at the church till it was time to go to work. We would run home, take a shower, go to work. We stayed in church till, at that time I was going to work at 6:30. I'd be at work at 6:30. I would stay in the church till 5:30. Go home, take a shower, get ready, go to work. Leave work, go back to church, not home. We did it. When I told you, when Apostle Ford had the other house of prayer on 1900 Commerce Street, we ain't doing nothing. Listen, I'm talking about compared to what we did over there. We really didn't. Our children, Tammy, Biggie, was raised on the floor. And the children, they stopped complaining. That's why, because it didn't do any good. It just didn't do any good. Wasn't no need in complaining, because you were going to do it. They slept on the floor, on the pews, wherever. I raised them there. I did it. But the flesh don't want to do that. We want shortcuts now. And we done took them. And look what the shortcuts have gotten us. Mm-hmm. Yep. We were devoted. We were devoted. And when we tell you the Spirit was in there, the Spirit was in that church. Because we were devoted. We fast. Now we would let our children. Now we didn't make them fast 21. Well, we sometimes we would let them. It was a malt stand right up there by the church. We would let them go and get something to eat sometime. And sometimes we wouldn't. Sometime. And then we did it so much to the children, sometimes they just say, what's the use? Like sometimes elders would say, well, y'all can go home. They would say, oh, we might as well stay now. We didn't stay this long. They got used to it. And children, you don't know how God moved. It just seemed like it was just criminal. Just seemed like that's just a terrible thing to do. But you just don't know. Read, Sister Barnes, listen. The flesh is lazy. Start there.
It appeals to the flesh readily because the flesh is basically lazy. However, there are no shortcuts in the development of character. Character is developed in the mundane duties of life by consistently making the right choices. In the heat of battle, we are exposed to death in all of its raw reality. This is where we find out whether we have developed the character to instantly or instinctively make the right decision.
Okay, now let's skip down to wait a minute. Read. Keep reading. Lord, don't skip that.
The source of disunity in a body of believers can often be found among those who are murmuring, complaining, and arguing with authority.
Like I said, when that soldier out there on that battle line, you think he gonna argue when his officer give him a command? No, because his life at stake. You think you should argue in here when see? Read. Woo.
Often the issues that are brought up are not the real problems. The root often involves one's difficulty of submitting to authority. One of the 5 major sins of Israel in the wilderness was murmuring. The others were lust, idolatry, fornication, and tempting God. Paul warned believers to learn a lesson from the destruction suffered by Israel in the wilderness because of their sins. The lack of unity in a church can result in an inward focus that clouds the real purpose of the church. We must not allow ourselves to be distracted by petty issues that cause dissension and break the unity of the Spirit in the church.
Lord, have mercy, petty issues. Y'all, this is our life. Don't let issues, nothing distract you. Not worrying about what. Read.
People of the world around us,
And this is so good,
often justify their behavior by what they see happening in the church.
see? They justify their behavior by what they see the church doing. Listen to what this finna tell us, saint. Go on, little baby. You got to use the gone, sweetheart.
When believers
Listen.
behave as ungodly people outside the church, we give them an opportunity to blaspheme the name of the Lord.
Did you hear that? Read that one more time, sister.
When believers behave as ungodly people outside the church, we give them an opportunity to blaspheme the name of the Lord.
You see that? Everybody here, you see that? When you go out there and act up, you don't know what you be doing. That's why we tell you, when you go out there and backslide, you cause your people on your job, people around you that know you're supposed to be saved. You cause people to blaspheme. Ain't nothing to that. You cause them to blaspheme. It is so important to live this thing. It is so important to live this thing. It is so important not to let the world see you acting up. It's important, saints. It's important. Don't go, another thing, saints, don't never talk about a saint to the world. Don't never tell a worldly person we can't get along. Don't do that. For your back is turned. Ooh, and they supposed to be church. They supposed to be, and they can't get along. Don't never talk about the world to your sister, your brother. Never. Don't never do that. You causing people to blaspheme. Don't never do that. Don't talk. Don't you let nothing destroy you and Sister Rita's friend. Don't let nothing destroy that. Don't talk against that. Don't do that. Especially somebody unsaved. All people that's looking for a little loophole. That's all they need, just a little. Don't get out there and act up. Don't get out there and say things and all they need to see is just a little thing. Live this thing. Don't get on your job accidentally cursing. That's all they need to hear. And you saved, huh? And you saved, huh? Talking crazy, and then there you go. Everybody, oh Lord. Read.
If we are to be the light of the world in a crooked and perverse generation, we must demonstrate the light of Jesus Christ.
Now, on the, okay. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through God to the pulling down of strongholds. Okay, Sister Bond, equipped for battle.
The kind of weapons used in a battle are determined by the factors of location, combatants, and timing. Choosing the appropriate weapon for the battle often will determine the outcome. Paul the Apostle observed that we live in the natural realm of flesh and blood, but the location of our battle is in the spiritual world of human and demonic spirits. Oof. We are fighting against a spiritual system that opposes the knowledge of God. We
See,